and the earth falls silent, and the sky feels near. 3 disciples climb a mountain. They think it is only a time of prayer, but in reality, this is that point in history where time, soul, and reality dissolve into one another. This is no ordinary scene. This is the moment when Jesus expresses his identity not merely through words, but through light. And this light is not only for the eyes, but for the soul. Jesus goes to the mountain to pray. The words of the Bible say, while he was praying. In this sentence, a deep mystery is hidden. Before showing a miracle, Jesus chose prayer. This means that true power lies in relationship with heaven, not merely in outward might. As he prays, his face is transformed. This is not just a physical transformation, rather, a veil is lifted. The face that ordinary people used to see every day now reveals the reality that had always been there. Jesus did not change. Rather, he became visible as who he already was. Here there is a very subtle point. His face shone, his clothes became white. In the Bible, white is not merely a color, it is a sign of purity, truth, and divine presence. The change of clothing shows that what is within Jesus is now coming outward. The Spirit is prevailing over the body. This also teaches us that when a person draws close to God, not only their words, but even their appearance begins to bear witness. Then suddenly 2 men appear, Moses and Elijah. This is no coincidence. Moses represents the law, and Elijah represents prophecy. In other words, the entire Old Testament, law and prophets, is standing with Jesus. This scene announces that Jesus is not the beginning of a new story, but the center of the old one. What Moses wrote, what Elijah proclaimed, its meaning is standing right here. Now the question is, what were they talking about? The Bible tells us they were speaking about Jesus' departure, that is, his death, his sacrifice, his journey toward Jerusalem. Here a deep mystery is revealed. The inhabitants of heaven are speaking about the pain of the earth. Moses, who brought the law, knows that the law cannot save humanity. Elijah, who brought the prophecy of fire, knows that passion alone is not enough. Both know that the time has come for God himself to enter human suffering. And here a third mystery is hidden. These spiritual visitors were not merely memories, they are living personalities. This raises a very big question. Can the spirits of the saints still appear today? The Bible does not suggest that every person in every age will have such an experience, but it does clearly teach that the soul does not end with death. When God wills, and for whatever purpose he chooses, he can lift the veil. This experience is not given for curiosity, but for faith. The 3 disciples were between sleep and wakefulness. This too is a sign. Human beings often perceive spiritual reality in a half-awake state, not fully ready to understand it. Yet what they saw became the center of their lives. These first 3 verses teach us that when God reveals his true face, he always does so in the context of prayer, before witnesses, and with his entire story. Law, prophecy, and sacrifice. This is not just an event on a mountain. It is the experience of every soul that truly seeks God. On the mountain, not only was Jesus illuminated, human understanding was illuminated as well. And from here, the story becomes even deeper, when heaven itself begins to speak. On the mountain, the light no longer remains limited to Jesus alone. This light slowly becomes a weight upon both the eyes and the hearts of the disciples. From here, the human reaction begins. And from here, the story becomes deeper, more intense, more human. Peter speaks up. His words break the silence, but in reality he is trying to hide his nervousness. He says, "It is good that we are here. Let us make 3 shelters." This sentence is not merely a suggestion. It is a mirror of human nature. When a spiritual experience is beautiful, a person wants to capture it, stop it, freeze it. Peter wants to turn the light into a destination rather than a journey. Here, a deep mystery is hidden. A spiritual experience is not meant to stay forever, but to transform. If Jesus had stopped this experience here, the journey of sacrifice would never have begun. Moses and Elijah also did not come for the purpose of building shelters. They came to remind Jesus that the next step lies down in the valley, where there is pain, oppression, and the cross. God's light does not call us to escape the world, but prepares us to be sent back into it. Now something else happens. A cloud descends. In the Bible, a cloud is never merely part of the weather. A cloud is a sign of divine presence. In the time of Moses as well, whenever God revealed himself, there was a cloud, meaning that what is happening here, while part of the new covenant, is also a confirmation of the old covenant. The disciples become afraid, because when God draws near, a human being recognizes their own smallness. And then from within the cloud, a voice is heard. This voice is not for the people. It is for history. "This is my beloved Son. Listen to him." Here an essential point must be noted. God did not say, "Worship him," or "make images of him." Rather, he said, "Listen to him." This means the real test of obedience is yet to come, when Jesus will teach them the path of suffering, patience, and love for enemies. To listen is, in reality, to obey. As soon as the voice ends, Moses and Elijah disappear. Now only Jesus remains. This too is no coincidence. The law and the prophets have completed their task. Now the center is only Jesus. A path that not only explains, but walks ahead and shows the way. The disciples are silent. The Bible says that for some time they told no one anything. Sometimes silence itself is obedience. Not every truth is meant to be spoken immediately. Some truths must first be endured. Now another deep question arises here. Is such a voice, such a spiritual presence, still possible today? The answer is yes, but that mountain is different for each person. Sometimes it is solitude, sometimes pain, sometimes loss. God still speaks today, but most of the time we do not stop to listen. And when we do listen, like Peter, we want to confine it within a shelter. There is also another human dimension to this entire event. Jesus did not show this experience to everyone, only to 3. Not every person is ready for every mystery. God always reveals according to capacity. And when he reveals, he also gives responsibility. That is why immediately after the mountain one must come down. Sick children, confused people, and a world submerged in doubt are waiting below. This part teaches us that light is not only meant to be seen, but to be carried. If you have ever felt God, it was not only for comfort. It was to send you back. What was seen on the mountain must be tested in the valley. And from here, the story becomes harsher, more real, because now Jesus' face is no longer shining. Rather, his path is about to become heavy. Coming down from the mountain is always difficult. After light, the darkness feels sharper. When Jesus and his 3 disciples descend into the valley, the very first scene makes it clear that the world does not pause on the mountain. Below there is noise, argument, confusion. The other disciples are standing with a father whose son is possessed by an evil spirit. He screams, falls down, harms himself. This scene is deeply symbolic. On the mountain there was light. Here there are broken human beings. On the mountain there was silence. Here there is chaos. And these two are parts of the same story. There is helplessness in the Father's voice. He says that he went to the disciples, but they could do nothing. Here, a deep and painful truth is hidden. Without light, a human being becomes only a system, not power. The disciples believed, but that day their faith was not alive. This shows that spiritual authority is not a permanent possession, something received once and then used forever. It lives through connection, through prayer, through attentiveness. Jesus uses strong words here. He says, "O unbelieving generation." This is not anger. It is grief. As if to say, you saw, you heard, and yet you did not fully trust. Jesus is not saying that they broke the law. He is saying that they weakened their faith. Then he calls the boy to himself. As soon as the Spirit sees Jesus, it throws the boy violently to the ground. Here a deep mystery appears. When darkness comes close to light, it displays its last strength. That is why, often, when we are near healing, things seem to get worse first. Jesus asks the Father, "How long has this been happening?" Think about it. The one who has the power to heal first listens to the story. This teaches us that even divine power wants to hear human pain. The Father's words are heavy. From childhood. This suffering is not new. It is old. And then comes the sentence that sums up the entire human soul. If you can do anything, have mercy on us. Faith and doubt exist in the same sentence. Jesus responds, "If you can believe, all things are possible for the one who believes." This does not mean that a person can produce a miracle by their own will. It means that when a person admits their helplessness, space is created for God. The Father immediately cries out, "I believe. Help my unbelief." This is one of the most human sentences in the Bible. It is not the language of angels. It is the truth of a broken father. And Jesus works with this very truth. Jesus commands the Spirit to come out. The Spirit screams and leaves, and the boy becomes like one dead. People say, "He is dead." Here another deep mystery appears. When an old chain breaks, for a few moments life itself can seem to disappear. But Jesus takes him by the hand and lifts him up. Taking the hand. This is not just healing, it is relationship. The one fallen on the ground is not raised by power alone, but by closeness. Later, in private, the disciples ask, "Why could we not do this?" Jesus' answer is quiet but deep. This kind comes out only by prayer, meaning not every problem is solved by skill. Some battles are won only in surrender. The light that was seen on the mountain, if it is not kept alive in daily prayer, turns into heavy darkness in the valley. There is another deep dimension to this entire event. On the mountain, Jesus' face was shining. Here in the valley, his hands are filled with dust. Both are his identity. If he were only light, we would be afraid. If he were only pain, we would lose hope. But he is both. And that is why he can understand us. The story does not stop here. Now Jesus again speaks of his suffering, his death, his being taken away. The disciples do not understand. They become afraid. They do not have the courage to ask questions. This too is very human. When God's plan is deeper than our understanding, we often fall silent. This part teaches us that both the mountain and the valley are necessary. If you have seen the light, remember, someone is waiting for you below. And if you are in the valley, remember this as well. The mountain is not finished yet. Jesus is Lord of both places. As Jesus moves forward from the valley, the tone of the story changes. Now the miracle is no longer at the center. Instead, the test is of the heart. The disciples are walking, but another journey is unfolding in their minds. They are arguing among themselves. Who is greater? Who is closer? Who deserves the center? Think about it. Just a short while ago, they saw the light, heard the voice, experienced spiritual power, and yet human ego quietly remains alive. This is one of the Bible's most honest realities. A spiritual experience does not instantly kill the ego. Jesus stops. He tells them to sit down. Even this sitting is a sign. When the Lord wants to teach a lesson, He first slows our pace. Then He brings a child into the middle. A deep mystery is hidden here. In that time, a child was not a symbol of power, importance, or status. A child was powerless, dependent, and not central to the structure of society. By placing the child at the center, Jesus turns the entire way of thinking upside down. He says, "The one who is the smallest is the greatest." Meaning greatness is not about climbing upward. It is about stepping downward. This is hard to understand because the world teaches us that we must build an identity. Jesus says identity is received when you let go of the one you have built. A child proves nothing. He simply exists. And in Jesus' eyes, this is the first sign of spiritual health, standing before God with your weakness. Then another discussion arises. The disciples say that they saw a man casting out demons in Jesus' name, but they stopped him because he was not one of them. Here, a very subtle and dangerous side of religion appears. We often value the circle more than the work. Jesus' response again shakes their thinking. Whoever is not against you is for you. Meaning God's work does not have to fit only within your frame. Truth often works beyond our boundaries. After this, Jesus speaks very strong words. He says that whoever causes one of these little ones to stumble, it would be better for them never to have been born. These words are not gentle, but they are necessary, because someone who becomes a spiritual leader and damages the soul of the weak is not just wrong. They are dangerous. Here Jesus teaches us that the real test of power is not what you can do, but whom you do not harm. Then he gives the example of the hand, the foot, the eye. If they cause you to fall into sin, cut them off. This is not a teaching of literal violence, but a sign that in spiritual life, half decisions do not work. Whatever pulls you away from God, no matter how close it is to you, must be let go. Jesus is not offering comfort here. He is offering transformation. And transformation always comes with loss. In the end, Jesus gives the example of salt. If salt loses its saltiness, what good is it? Here, the teaching settles on spiritual identity. You are in the world to make a difference. If you become like the world, then the purpose of your presence disappears. But then he adds one more sentence that seals the whole story. Live in peace with one another. Meaning light, power, truth. Their final test is character. Now, if we look at the entire story in one breath, prayer on the mountain, light, Moses and Elijah. Then in the valley a broken child, weak faith and healing. And then in this final part, the testing of ego, a child in the center, and the call to let go of oneself. One clear message emerges. Jesus did not come only to show us God. He came to make us human, a human being who carries light and bears pain, who prays and also reaches down to lift the fallen, who speaks truth, but never without love. This story was not only for the disciples of that time. It is for every person who has a spiritual experience, then returns to ordinary life and becomes entangled again. Jesus does not say that you must stay on the mountain forever. He says, what you saw on the mountain, live it out in the valley. Trust like a child, mercy for the weak, and making space for others by letting go of yourself. Here the story ends. But in truth, This is where it begins. Because once the light has been seen, life itself becomes an answer. And only one question remains. Will we allow that light to stay alive within us? Or will we remember it only as a story?